Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working on a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come. I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
It's in a political somnambulism and malocclusion. It's in a financial and economic bantigism. Look at the way the game politics is becoming a bugaboo. What a political holy bully. What a political hoity-toity. What a political foodie-doody. What a political hocus-pocus you have come with. What a political jabberwocky. What a political poppycock. What a political gobbledygook. With this consternation, I ask that you accept my pertinacious circumlocution. Accept my pertinacious circumambiguous grandiloquence and magniloquence. But I will tell you this, I will not koto in Japoho. I will refuse to koto in Japoho. Thank you. It is appalling. That is the reason I've been in a compendious laconic lacuna, not a recapitulation. But let me tell you this, that it is Leka and Pulchritudinous that in a legotla, in an imbizo, flagitious and enervating lematas were excogitatedly ruminate how the recidivistical politicos move from budget disappearance to budget doctoration. But now we are faced with a debilitating, exasperating thing with a financial lobotomization. But I pray that this will not ignite a clamorous remonstration. Now, come to think of it, how dare they deplete the citizens of their obstreperous and vociferous modus vivendi? Enough of this vilification and solipsism. This is execrably pugnacious, pestilential, and attenuating. Imagine the imbibition of the political rodomontades, which has kept us in an abject ululation. Why? This is sardonic, opprobrious, malevolent, contumelious, erroneous, lugubrious, and exasperating. What a political baloney. What a political ballyhoo. What a political bunkum. Balderdash and hogwash. At this point, I will borrow the words of the great sesquipedalian logomanian that it is crystal clear, like the biblical mene teke saying, that this administration has no blueprint on socio-economic matters. But I will advise you to tell Mr. President that following his antecedent and pedigree, we know him, he can do better. Tell him to do better. But at this point, we will not kowtow in their poho. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. What an opprobrium, what an odium, what an ignominious memento. That even at the barbituration of the so much acclimatized by a scrupulous, fastidious, puritanical, boisterous, energetic, and a routine to teen, but today for party affiliation, sentiments, for political somnambulism and malocclusion, he has chosen to remain close-mouthed, reticent, taciturn, uncommunicative, and unforthcoming, meaning he has kowtowed in their poho. That is what you get when the hobo, pejoratively hobnobs with the hobgoblin, have been bamboozled, razzle-dazzled, razzmatazz politically. Where I said he was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is a way of saying the president was fantastic. But his political enemies said he was suffering from what I describe as new mono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. It's a word that is supposed to be called silicosis, meaning a lung disease. But in search for the longest word in the dictionary, they pep it up to become a 45-letter word, which is new mono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. This impedimenta, combustible and volatile lemma, in its maximum exoneration, reminds me of the biblical Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. What germinated the abnegation and repudiation? What an academic academic yo-ho caused by these political yo-yos, political yobos, in their leadership rococo, leadership rababaration, in conjunction with administrative bemusement, holy poly, and discombobulation, in their obstreperous, malevolent shenanigan and hocus pocus agenda. Your boo-boo has poo-pooed into your business. The bifurcation and abdication of the vision in the name of honorificability to the dignitatis, just to score cheap political points. Then floxina, sini hilipilificating. You see, the stilty, politicals of torrent rodomontades and defalcators that you and I know. The lab annotation of their eleemosinaries, ostentatious and libidinous lifestyle shows that they are out. Oh, obliteration, mutilation, decapitation. Say no to this academic bantigism, academic noctambulism, and academic malocclusion, which their children are not part of. It's in a political hogomondogos way. Yes, the Muay Thai. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political muahaha. Political yo, political holy poly. Tell Mr. President, we are tired of the mendacilloquence, prostitute, and zabanism. Yes, mendacilloquence, telling lies in an awful way, prostitute, propaganda. This impedimenta, combustible and volatile lemma, in its maximum exoneration, reminds me of the biblical Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. What germinated the abnegation and repudiation? What an academic muahaha, academic yo caused by these political yo-yos, political yobos, in their leadership rococo, leadership rababaration, in conjunction with administrative bemusement, holy poly, and discombobulation, in their obstreperous, malevolent shenanigan and hocus pocus agenda. Your boo-boo has poo-pooed into your business. The bifurcation and abdication of the vision in the name of honorificability to the nitativos, just to score cheap political points. And floxina, sinihilipilificating. You see, the stilty, politicos of torrent rodomotates and defalcators that you and I know, the lab annotation of their eleemosinaries, ostentatious and libidinous lifestyle shows that they are out. Oh, obliteration, mutilation, decapitation. Say no to this academic bantigism, academic noctambulism, and academic malocclusion, which their children are not part of.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or certain condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
God, the creator and sustainer of the universe, who never reneged on his promises to us, but fulfilled every word that he uttered in the fullness of his time for our benefit. We are grateful, thankful that his grace, mercy, and providential care hovers us in spite of our imperfections. He never reneged, fulfilling his part of the bargain. Having kept watch over us throughout the night, he has given us another day, which is a responsibility to make his society better. It is an obligation, not a choice, not a privilege, but an obligation. So we've got no option, yes, but to do as God instructs, that his society, his culture, his place called Liberia is better. And no better time to do it than now. We've got to face the people of the day, just as Jeremiah, Habakkuk, Amos, Moses, Malachi, and the rest of the guys face the political leaders of their day, and change came. It doesn't happen suddenly. Change is resisted. Good change is resisted, but consistency brings it to pass. Society gets better. And that's what we are at Kings 88.5. No malice against Mr. President. No malice against Mr. Vice President. No hate against anybody constituting this government. But we've got an obligation, just as they have, to do the needful for this country. Hence, it's no turning back. Thank you all again for coming on, spending your resources, putting in your time, energy. We appreciate all of you. Thank you so very much. It is the weekend in Liberia. 10,000 Liberian dollars and 5,000 Liberian dollars given out through our partner called Radio Entertainment. So you want to take that 15,000 by playing, hit the jackpot, star 799, star 24 hatch, 200 Liberian dollars, or $1.50. That's all you need to do. And then you can have your 15,000 Liberian dollars in this die economy under Judo Christopher. If you can take that 15,000, well, then it's up to you. But that is the testimony you have. Also, Liberty Fortune, Scratch and Win. The draw is on tomorrow. Somebody is going to receive 1,000 United States dollars, not Liberian dollars. The draw hasn't closed. Stay open. So if you haven't played, you have to play and play as many times as you can. You could be that name or that person for that 1,000 United States dollars. Imagine on Christmas Day, Independence Day in Liberia, your 178 years celebration will be so great. So watch out for the draw on tomorrow. King Support Basket, stay open. The basket is wide. It's not going to close now. The basket has several years to remain open. And we appreciate, firstly, what you have done. Most of you have done extremely well, and you stay doing well. And we want you to keep on doing extremely well by dropping as per your time and what you can afford in the basket. The numbers are on the screen. All those numbers have only one name, Abraham William. That's all. 0555 885 885. 0777 017 885. Liberty, US, anyone to say in Liberian parlance, a small drop can fill a bucket. As it drops gradually, the bucket is filled. This bucket is open wide. It is a big bucket, large bucket rather. So it receives so much. Thank you all for what you have done. We appreciate all of you. Let's keep on doing it. And we've got a long road ahead of us, yet short, because we've got just few years to 2029. Today is the 25th of July. Couple of weeks from now, we'll be talking and entering, by the grace of God, 2026. Then the National Elections Commission will start the preparation for 2029. Yeah. Peter Tokpa, Dupont Row, Vinicius Bar, Nuku Town, Claude de Paul, Musa A. Sharif, Sophie, Congo Town, Joseph Kekula, Stephen Yakadi, Cotton Tree, District 3, Lower Magibi County, Yassa Sharif, Jeremiah Paiwe, Clady Allison, Joan Momolu from your business center on Gale Street behind the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. Yes, Patience Wisner, you are following from your residence, Lynch Street, opposite the Ministry of Public Works. Jackson C. Pony, Iron Factory Block C community, member of Block Titan Intellectual Center. You are on. The chairman himself, Chairman for Life himself is on. Romancio Latupan, Kenny Boy, or Rico for short. The only chairman that cuts across everywhere with all people, irrespective of race, creed, political belief, social, religious, whatever. Even Yana boys can leave his presence. Good to have you on the show, and good to have you in such a time. The Honorable, no, let me not attach honorable because a man is not honorable. Honorable in Liberia, at the tap brass there, even though it means one who is at the service of the people. But the way our men and take that honorific now, forget it. So much so that when you call them honorable, honorable, they vex. Yeah, they think that something extra. And that is how most of the guys see themselves at the legislature and other places. So most Liberians will flatter them since they want to be called honorable. They go, honorable, and you see them, then they put their shoulder up. You got 3, 4, 5 persons walking behind and holding the bag, honorable. It doesn't show anything extra. Honorable is the same as what the people can say for the pastors, and they can say reverend. It is the same as they say for the journalists. You know what it means? It simply means the work that you do. That all. It's not because of who you are. The honorific is because of the job, and it is based on the job that you do that people give you the respect. The reason you people respect us from everywhere is because of the kind of job, this job that we're doing. That's all. The people give the pastor respect. It's not that the pastor is God. It's only because the pastor is serving God's people as per God's instruction. The woman on the market table, she is honorable. Why is she honorable? Because of the service she is rendering to humanity. The guy in the keke, like my man Abraham Kuman, he is an honorable because he is rendering service unto humanity, transporting people from one end to another to do their business, their interactions, and every other thing in time and with seriousness. He is at the service of humanity. He is honorable. The taxi driver, the bike rider, the woman who trades her goods in the wheelbarrow, the young girl who takes her wheelbarrow from one end to another, selling her products, she is an honorable because of the service she's rendering. Don't think that because you're not in office, you're not wearing coat suit or some of those expensive female wears, so you're not honorable. No, you are honorable. You are a unique person in a unique way based on your service. So you are honorable. When people call you honorable, don't get vexed. Don't reject you. Don't see those people at Capitol Hill as the only honorable. No, you took that responsibility. You give it to them. That's the reason why they are called honorable. DeLong, couple of years back, who was calling DeLong honorable? Couple of years back, who was calling James Collier honorable? Who was calling Edward Papi Flomo, District 13, honorable? Who was calling Richie Kuhn honorable? They were never ever being called honorable prior to going to the legislature. When they got into the legislature, people started to call them honorable. They weren't. By what they were doing, they were not honorable because they were doing nothing. They were hustling, they were struggling. They were associated with poverty. They were hoping for opportunity, and they took advantage of opportunity. That's how they're in the legislature today. That is why when you ascend, any position you ascend to, don't see yourself as far above the people, that you are the greatest person to ever walk the face of the earth and everybody should bow to you. No. Whether you're at the radio station, you're on the market table, you're in the keke riding it, you're on the bike, you're in the office, wherever you are, always see yourself as a servant. And Jesus Christ saw himself as servant, so he was at the disposal of the people. Jesus was honorable. He wasn't honorable because of his messianic status. He was honorable because he was at the service of the people, and he himself admitted it. He said, "For this purpose I was sent." God is an honorable God, but he doesn't look at his personality to brag and boast, but rather he's at the service of humanity. Anything you're doing on earth, be it formal or informal, you are just that unique person because you are at the service of humanity. And be proud of it. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of what you do. Put everything into it. Show no don't care attitude. Show no weakness. Do not complain. Do not grumble. Just ask God to help you complete your assignment day by day. Feel good doing what you have. Feel comfortable. If you are a sweeper, like Martin Luther King said, sweep streets so well. If you are a journalist, broadcast so well. Forget about every other things that not forthcoming. They will come in the fullness of time. If you are trading that goods in the market or in the wheelbarrow, be proud of it. A young girl, be proud. That is your office. Anywhere you find yourself, anything you're doing, that is your office. From an economic standpoint, office is anything that you engage in that brings income, that brings money to you, that you use to improve your life. I am sitting in my office. The young girl who is moving with her wheelbarrow from one end to another, selling her goods, encouraging people to buy. That is her office. And that office is by far unique and respectable. That is a respectable office. The lady who is on the street, these ladies that you see, day and night, they are sweeping the streets. They are honorable women. That is their office. From there, they earn their money to sustain their house. Anything you find yourself doing, everybody can be the same. Everybody can do the same job, but everybody has unique, respectable office. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of what you are doing. Do it to the best of your ability. Like Martin Luther King said, whether you win or you fail, be the best of whatever you are. Because in the fullness of time, according to God who created all of us, the benefits will come. You will reap the benefits threefold, fourfold, fivefold, whatever. Don't get discouraged. Don't look down upon yourself. Don't use other people as the measurement for your motivation to do what you have to do or to do. Do not use other people's situation as the measuring rod to determine whether you are good or not, whether you can make life better or not. No, everybody is unique in their own way by the job that they do. And every one of us, we are on the same plane. I'm no better than you. No, we are equal. We are equal, but we have different functions. The Yana boy, the keke rider, the bike rider, the taxi driver, the office person in the Ministry of Finance, Post and Telecom, education, everywhere, the woman on her market table, the man behind the counter in the store, all of us are equal. It's because all of us are at the service of humanity. But we're not doing the same job, but we have one thing in common: service. Our responsibility is to get the information, sift out the information, analyze the information, then we put it out. Then the business people will say, this is what is happening. I think let us go get our business done. Oh, the news is reporting that the economy is improving. Certainly we can see because of XYZ. Or there is a crisis on that side. Let's be careful how we move. Though we have to open our store to get our economy moving, but let's also be cautious. That's our responsibility. Their responsibility, when we finish doing the talking, we need to get some things. We go to them. They have it because they have the goods. Our goods is information. But every one of us are so unique. We are equal. All of us are honorables. Don't get discouraged. Don't look down upon yourself. See yourself as very potential, as significant, as resourceful. And your office is unique. When a senator goes into your community, every one of you equal. You can call him or her honorable. But you are also, assume 500 persons is sitting, and that person is talking to those 500 persons. That's 600 honorables there, 600. Those 500, they are honorables by your stage, by your stature, by your service, and everything you do. That man who stands in front of you to talk is because of his function. But everyone is unique. Everyone is so good. That is the first pointer, is the weekend. Where do we go? Liberia, that's how the world goes, from one event to another. Let's go to the executive mansion. Today is the 25th, the eve of Liberia's independence, which is very, very, it's like a major, and it is a major holiday, just like Christmas, New Year, all those major holidays. In Liberia, July 26th, the country's independence is a major holiday. Everybody From morning, can you imagine, from morning to Friday, from morning to night, from Monday to Friday, people shopping from one end to another, trying to get things for Saturday, and Saturday ain't going to be easy. Then the same Saturday, yes. The same Saturday, there will be a drama. I'm not wishful of the celebration on Saturday. I understand that several, or some, not several, not even some, but few dignitaries, presidents, former, most of them from ECOWAS, will be here for the celebration. But on Saturday will be a drama day. Why I say that? Because since the ascendancy of this government, it never ceases to amaze upon anything. Since the ascendancy of this government, it never ceases to amaze. Just expect on tomorrow something interesting. When I say interesting, to get you laughing, though it will be sad, but something just going to happen over there. Either the organization will be poor, somebody will say something that he ought not to say, or the orator will say something that will not go down well with the government officials. That will run to information ministry and start cursing him. Something somehow will happen. That place, when Unity Party is having an event, it is an accident in waiting. I'm not being cynical, but we speak from experience what we are saying. Mr. President gets out of this country, the people are afraid. They interrupted him, so the conversation or the panel discussion will stop so that nothing happened. He comes back to his country. Just you know, man. So tomorrow is the celebration of Liberia's 178 years. 100. Liberia is clogging 200. So as part of the activities leading up to that, the tradition, the president granted executive clemency to 75 prisoners, 75 across the country, 75. I know after a year, Boaga will have to sit and rest for between 1 to 2 weeks. I say it because the bragging, the boasting, they all on social media, how the president in short time will move from this end and dedicate this and go to the other end and go to that other end. When he breaks down, then they will find something else. Things that they ought not to come our way. That's what they can come out with. And it is a shame. They're running with different articles, how Boakai is effective, Boakai is strong, Boakai dedicating projects all over the place, moving from one end, unlike the other man, because I had to put it, unlike the other man who was dancing. Fine. We're not hoping for anything bad, but you know, at the close of the day, when we start hearing that they want this, the president can do they want, the president can do that one, when we start talking about you should not get vexed, because it is not something to brag on. Boaga has aged. Boaga has all of the money. Money can stop you from aging. Money can reverse your age and health. If that was the case, then those people who have millions, billions, trillions, they were never going to decline in health. They were never even going to die. Money can help you. It is supernatural. So you stop that. Yeah, you stop comparing. We are is far effective, better than Boakai. Boakai came to the presidency the wrong time, whether you like it or not. But that is the reality. Bwaka came already age 80. He going into his 90. You don't expect that he will be the same. So you'll be acting so childish, running all around like children with just emotion. That Bwaka is effective, Bwaka is strong. When you all knew that Bwaka is strong, when Bwaka almost died here, you people were not saying that he was strong. Today, because he's president, you're playing the sycophant say that he's strong. He's moving from one end, dedicating. While at this time, his predecessor was dancing booga. Bwaka can walk from up Broad Street to down Broad Street. He can do it. We can walk from Central Morovia all the way Congo Town. We goes to play football 45 minutes, 90 minutes beyond. Bwaka can jog. Bwaka can even look at how Bwaka can walk. He walks like stingray. It's not because the person is in a position. So you come out to say, and you know very well that the person is aging. There will be a time. You think from now until 2029, Bwaka will be like that? You can be the same. Every day, people age. We age every day. As we age, we depreciate. That's how God said it. So you drop that thing that's mentally childish. So he let go 75 persons. 75 inmates that caused across the country, not only Morovia Central Prison, everywhere. Then Stan is our next pointer. Solidarity and trust for new day. Stan has given its position what they intend to do on August 4th. Just before those women assemble. If you will be part of those women who say they are coming out to protest against drugs, God will curse you. If you don't want to be cursed by God, don't be a part of their protest. Yesterday, July 17 protest was wrong. It was violent. It was going to be violent. It was going to cause instability, war in the country. That's what they said. Now, they want to come out. So the same way, if they come out, the country will be unstable, insecurity, war will come. So we are opposing them. None of you people should ever step up to join them. Let them go as women, political elite women. Let them go. The voices of the elders, those who were issuing statements all over the place, those women who call themselves voices of the elders, because July 17 was coming and they did not want it. They portrayed protests as a recipe for war. So people should not identify. They say, oh, the people who failed the country are the same people. They say Molba Moli was with CDC and he's leading stand. What is the difference? That's the same people that they are noted for protesting. So yes, because what they wanted, you see how God works? God can expose the devilish, the satanic heart. They were hoping for evil. The hole that they dug, those men and women who opposed the July 17 protest, the hole that they dug by the wishful thinking, God allowed Moba Molu and his people to jump over it. So they're coming to jump in their own hole, they dug, their own pit on August 7th. They will jump inside. Nobody will go there. It will be the most pitiful, sorrowful gathering ever. And they will never, ever talk about gathering or protesting against drugs. You sat down here. Your people said Joshua was the one who brought drugs in the country, as if drugs never existed in this country. It is unprecedented now, a 4-year more on a Bwaka regime. Then they call these women, let me tell you, you don't trust these women. They think that the politicians themselves call them, allegedly gave them some money. They see people printed t-shirts given to them, then they acting like drugs is so this, it affecting children, it ain't affecting anybody. You're going to say that. Some of you should be ashamed about yourselves because you get your own children Your own children, you can't control them. They eat drugs more than the people that you call ordinary people, ordinary children. Most of you people we know, we're seeing the thing. We're seeing the thing. Their country is small. Some of you women that you're shouting, you're writing all over the place. Some of you, your children in it, boys, girls, you can't even control them. Some of them on the street, you're driving, you look at your own son, you're ashamed to identify with him to get down and take him. We know. You know how many times we heard plenty of things, the G's then that can come from upstairs about some of you people. You think when you look so, I beg your belly. Let's go to Mama Molu. What Mama Molu said. August 4th, that stand together with the other civil society partners, Liberians, they will have what they refer to as Citizens Appreciation Day. The intent is to honor, in the words of Molba Molo, the brave Liberians who stood up during the historic July 17 Enough is Enough protest. Despite the threats and intimidation, he said thousands demanded justice, accountability, and real reforms. August 4th, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. means that in the morning, that not in the afternoon, that in the morning. August 4th, when the celebration of Liberia's independence is over. That not in July. So the wishful thinkers, the warmongers, and all the people then, when I say, oh, they want to disrupt the July 26th, the people who say they didn't get justice, no July 26th, we heard them yesterday. Thank God we heard them. So that in the morning, where will take place, right to stay headquarters in Congo town. They're not on the street, though. The people not coming on the street to stay headquarters in Congo town. According to Molba Molu, the event will feature cultural performances, revolutionary songs, speeches, and sharing of food and entertainment, which is a true celebration of Liberian unity in the fight for democracy and justice. What other thing did he say? By August 1, President Boakai must respond to the people's petition. If not, stand along with the other civil society partners and dedicated, patriotic, nationalistic Liberians will announce the next phase of, in his words, strategic, lawful actions on Citizens Appreciation Day. And then he went on to call on all July 17 protest supporters, civil society groups, political party youths, students, petty traders, keke and back riders, market women, artists, the media, religious leaders, and diaspora allies to join this day of unity and reflection. So there are three things here. One, August 4th. Two, August 1, President Boakai should show response or give his government's response. 3, everybody's support. Everybody who supported July 17. We're there, the media there. So we've been talking about it. We supported it from the Constitution, from democracy. We stay supported because it is a major democratic tenet. The Constitution of Liberia provides for that. So we got involved and we are still involved. That what will unfold on August 4th in Congo Town at Stan's headquarters. Do not come in on the street. Well, it's not a mass protest. It's a gathering to say thank you. Jesus said, weren't you 10? Did I not listen to 10 persons? Did 10 persons not present their petition? Did I not answer the 10? Where are the other 9 to come back and say thank you? It's very key when somebody partner with you, people give their support, whatever, you want to say thank you. And Mama Molly is right. You know what it does? It serves as motivation, as encouragement. It shows to the people, yes, our effort, our coming out, the risks that we took, the defiance against the government was noted, appreciated. Hence, anytime this man and other civil society people call on us, we will come out. If you can say thank you to somebody, the next time you call on them, they will not go. They will not. So it is always good in any area of life to say thank you. That always watch, if you are a reader of the Bible, every time God did something, he requires the people to say thank you. And that motivates him a lot to do more. That will be doing it for Stan, August 4th. August 4th. Mark it down, please. I beg you. Mark it down. It's August 4th. It is called Citizens Appreciation Day. It is in the morning, not in the afternoon. Citizens Appreciation Day, 11 in the morning, 11. It is not all over the streets, but at Stan's headquarters in Congo Town. In Congo Town, there will be several performances, songs, speeches, sharing of food. You know, they call that item 13, eating, drinking, lecturing, talking, going back, meeting people. Some of the protesters were not able to see each other because in a protest, you can't see everybody, but you have the opportunity. So maybe one day say, oh, this is Sam Andrews. Okay, this is the guy who was talking. He was protesting too from where, oh, okay, I'm so and so. All those ones are a part of appreciation. You get to know each other or one another. You enjoy the atmosphere. It is democratic. And then at the close of the day, everybody goes home. So you want to be there. It's not going to rain on that day, even if it rains. That will be doing it for that. Then let's move to what unfolded on yesterday. Then we close. But it is not possible to go to anything without the cross. So we are waiting for the police director, the investigation. Even though he like they say in Labyrinthine, he moved from behind his own man. Yeah, there's this terrible accident, terrible accident, how to call it, around Cape Maui. Yeah. So the event happened. The police director showed no leadership. If he ever showed leadership, that was a bad leadership, bad mannerism exhibited by telling the whole world the person responsible is in custody. We apologize. We'll look into it. It requires investigation in the soonest of time. Then he comes back and say, we're seeing the video. It requires no investigation. You wonder what kind of police chief would not be coherent in his thought. Everything from the very moment that thing happened, the police director would just give distorted information. So his guards, the people now, those protesters, why I would not want to refer it, even though they portray themselves that way, which was not right, they tried to put it on religious ground and they succeeded, but I would not tread that route. No. I will refer to them as protesters, Liberians, because I understand that is what they call begging the question. You know you are in the wrong, but because you don't want to be held by that, so you try to create a scene that would divert the attention from what you did. That's what they call begging the question. But it's merely used in using it for the people who can discuss. When you see people discussing, the man say something and then people and he realized that he should not have said that, you know. So you jump to something else and try to dramatize it so it will catch everybody's attention, then they will forget about the original job. That's what they try to do in a demonstration way. So I wouldn't refer to them as or speak to that as on a religious note. No, they are Liberians. They said one of their kind was mad Heno, and so they were demanding justice. They're demanding justice. The police boss said investigation is ongoing, and no investigation will take place. That's what the police director said. He said investigation will be conducted, the finding will be released in the soonest of time in the same place. He even left to go in his office. He said from the video footage, it requires no investigation. And those Liberian protesters who were demanding justice were excited, meaning the case has gone against the police officer. They've succeeded in bullying the police director and his officials. Now we can go regroup and network on the next approach. And that would take me into what one of the guys, Imaklai, wrote, which, in my opinion, if this was a Liberian, they would have called that person for investigation and brand that person as person of interest. We're seeing it all over the place. Some just wrote something on their Facebook, politician. They say, "Can they think you wrote? You burn the Capitol building. You can. They think you wrote, yeah? You're part of it." This statement by Ima Ali Cry is tantamount to war. It could incite violence, and not violence only, but religious violence. He wrote on his Facebook page with this caption, "Sitting on a time bomb." Sitting on a time bomb. I don't think I need to explain this further. All of us know, whether it is in a political tone, it is in a war tone, whatever, the situation. If you say that sitting on a time bomb, it means that anything can explode, anything can degenerate, or the country could degenerate into something, or that they will cause a situation that the government if they don't have justice, will not be able to handle. Something that is about to happen. It is on the brink. That means they are only waiting to hear. If the police director don't announce that the police officer is wrong and he's being reprimanded or he's been dismissed from the force to be prosecuted, their plan will immediately get into action. The Imam, yeah, what he wrote. He said, our official statement after speaking with authorities of the Liberia National Police yesterday was concise and non-judgmental. It was also intended to help bring about some calm. We await police investigation before speaking on what is no doubt a potentially explosive situation. The reason why we really speak on national issues is because we prefer to listen, watch, and analyze matters carefully before raising our voice. And when the time comes, we do so without missing our words. For now, as we commemorate Independence Day tomorrow, we need to pray for this country. For what I have heard and read so far, I am afraid we may be sitting on a time bomb. So, from what now? What do you know? At this point, we expect the police director or the authorities to call. If this was another person, the police will release a statement and the media will run with it. All of the online media institutions, you hear police summer, police IG summer. This person has been summoned for a statement, and then the media too will politicize that statement and render a judgment before the person can even reach. But they are acting like they have not seen this statement because it is coming from the other side of the divide. If it was another person, they would have called this person and say, come and explain. And listen, with this kind of situation that unfolded yesterday, and such a statement still coming up, it borders on national security, and it worth the person ought to explain to the security people exactly what he knows. Because he said, from what I have heard and read so far, I am afraid we may be on a time bomb. What is it you have heard? From whom you heard that? What is it that you have read? What is that you can share? Look, out of this country, they will call this imam. But you know why it will not happen? As much as I don't want to do that, and I will not do that, but I'm only doing it for this second, because he is an Islamic leader. If it was on the other side, we saw how, with no remorse whatsoever, authorities of the police, they put Bishop Kula in jail. They were not talking about anything religious, that this man is a religious leader, is a bishop. No, they chunked him in jail, they locked the gate. Yesterday, somebody say, oh, hijab, because hijab is there, hijab is that. Police director say, you're sorry. The imam, they will not call the imam because he is from that other side. But his statements warrant that he be called in by the security people, but they were not. This too is Liberia. Today is Friday. The day is Friday. Today is Friday. So not much. Let's have this break. And then we come back. We talk something else. Let's have this break.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or certain condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important. Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
Let me share with you CMC's statement on the event that unfolded yesterday. Then we can turn to you. The citizen movement for change expresses deep concern over the recent incident involving a female member of the Fula community and officers of the Liberia National Police. While social media videos may lack full context, what they reveal has rightfully sparked national reflection. We commend the Inspector General for his prompt apology and his commitment to a thorough, impartial investigation. Such a review must examine the events before and after the recorded footage, ensuring fairness and accountability. Even if the woman's actions were unlawful, the police response must remain professional. More critically, we strongly reject attempts to tribalize this matter. No individual actions should be used to stigmatize an entire ethnic or religious group. The Fula community is an integral part of our nation, and their rights must be fully respected. CMC is alarmed by efforts to politicize and inflame tribal tensions around the incident. This is reckless and dangerous. Liberia's strength lies in its diversity. We must address this issue through justice, not tribal or religious bias. We call on all Liberians to remain calm, avoid inflammatory rhetoric, and promote peace. Let this moment remind us that every citizen deserves dignity and fairness, regardless of tribe, religion, and gender. This is how they call the group, CMC, the political party that is owned by Musa Bility, and he is also from the Islamic side. So you expect that they will issue this kind of statement. What is unfair in this whole thing? The Lady Act is not being mentioned at all. So the statement, everything the camera will look at it, please, is as simple to understand. It's not difficult. It's not hard at all. It's not hard, except you don't have good comprehension ability. But put all that have been coming out, all of the write-outs, the audios, everything, you see that the focus is on what the police did and playing a blind eye to the man who or what the lady did, which is wrong. They put it, broad religious stuff into it. Nobody did that. The people from the other side. Ali Krai statement, look what he said there. He said, Muslims defending Muslims, Christians defending Muslims, backing Muslims, Christians backing Christians. How can you be a religious leader? This whole thing here ain't got nothing to do. How can a religious leader, Islamic religious leader, put in his right out, in his piece, that Muslims backing Muslims, Christians backing Christians? So in essence, he's saying this is a religious war. The Musability political party comes to say this. You can. So because the police director apologized now, so you see what we're saying? So the hanging on that is say good that he apologized. So it means that it is an admittance that his guy did the act and his officers did the act and his officers are wrong. And he will have to reprimand them. He will have to punish them, rather. I want you to listen to a line here. He said, that is the third paragraph. Even if the woman's action were unlawful, the police response must remain professional. So it's simply saying, even if the woman took knife and stabbed the police officer at the back and they die, the police should be standing. Nothing. They should not do anything. They should not come in, no self-defense. When they die, then they will come and issue apology of condolence, say sorry. We can't go this way. This country is this, is that. With all the narratives or pieces people have put to it, I maintain the police is human being like any other person on the earth. As much as we would not agree with police on everything as per our observation and their own reasoning, they are human beings like us. They are in that uniform of the republic. That is the republic. That is why they carry the badge. They have the authority. So why can the argument shift on the other side of reasoning that this woman recognized the police and that she needed to cooperate because the country, the state, the government, the president was in her presence? Why didn't they? Should be inserting that. They should not play the lip service, or even though the police should have exercised restraint. We have to stop. We have to start begging the question. That's not how you do. Firstly, condemn the woman act for disrespecting. Then you come and condemn the police. But you're not condemning your own, but you're condemning the police. Simply put, had she killed the police officer, we would know what to say to just play around, everything be finished. We can run this country like this. Again, it was nothing about religion. People have to stop every little thing they put it on religious ground. Every little thing they put it on this. Then they say, oh, and the people when you say religious war. You have to look at the source. Nobody talked about anything. They came out and put out a whole thing called hijab. And the issue was not about hijab. It was about an ethical breach or a suspicion of fraud, which the country went in, the state went in, the government went in, Mr. President went in. Because when the police stand there, that's the republic right there. That's the president. Everybody under the direction of the president. So if something happens here and we move in, that AB right there, that AB, that the boss right there, because we have the boss's authority. So anything, if the boss say, okay, we agree. So since you're saying XYZ, we cooperate. When the people see the state, when they see the police officer, that's the state right there, that the president right there. People come here, things happening, we move there, that AB right there. You know why? Because it is AB authority we're using. That's what it is. So you firstly respect that what you have happened firstly. But to leave that, not respecting the government, not realizing, have no time to know that that is the state, that is the president, Mr. President right there. Let's assume that Mr. President had gone to intervene. So that's what she was going to do, take that heavy stuff and knock it on Mr. President. And then people shifting it, that it was wrong. And the woman, it was in tribal. We know tribal conflict. We know religious conflict. Come on, man. Let us not shift. Let us not create a scene that the thing that one side is being affected or one side is being looked down in our society. That is not true. This country has always been tolerant with its diversity. It has always been. Liberia has one of the greatest history of diversity, cultural diversity, religious tolerance, coexistence. This country has one of the unique histories in Africa and the world. People should own up to their negligence and accept full responsibility. Why you think the people can say Christians are not united? Because when something happens, a Christian person sees and says, this is wrong. The Christian institution says, but this is wrong. It is based on that report and say Christians are not united. We're not united, but we have the fear of God. So God said, when you see the act, admit. Don't try to twist it, because when you twist it, then you increasing, you bringing conflict, and that conflict could spread to something. Admit. That's the reason why a Christian can admit. Admit. So if I'm a Christian, when another Christian do something, we're not going to back that person. We're not going to go in defense. We say this is wrong. That's why the book can say you're all around. They've been talking this thing everywhere. You're supposed to that y'all look at it carefully. That's what I mean. When something happen, they say, oh no, but the bishop should not have done that. It's wrong. When they say, oh, the other person should not have done that, the police right to arrest that person because it is wrong. You cannot defend wrong when you know that it is wrong. When it is wrong, you can't defend wrong. You admit. It's as simple. And once there is an admittance of fault, when everybody admits the fault, listen, the matter is resolved amicably. Simple as that. But that's what it is in Liberia. Yeah. So what do we do? Yeah, let's just go. I want to talk something, and then we are out. Let's go. Let's take a few calls, and then it's the weekend, July 26th. Today is the 25th. Liberia at 178 years old. Celebration. Y'all keep dropping in the basket. Yeah, I beg you. Y'all give our 26. Y'all put our 26 in the basket at 0777 885 885. So 777 0555 885 885. 0777 017 885. Y'all just drop, yeah? We'll make y'all drop our 26 inside. Tomorrow the celebration. Prezzo going to make great news over there tomorrow again. Let's go. Let's take a few calls, and then where do we start? Let's go this way. Let's go this way. Where do we start? Let's start with the women. Hello.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Papa. I'm Abese. Hello?
I'm listening to you.
All right. So now we fear now. Our own country, you do website you want. Year more year the foreigner do something, I will be the one. Our officer who can serve for our own government friend. No respect for foreigner. But when cattle are pure, we are our children. So now I want for the country to run. That is Baga running the country. So we started foreigner more than citizen.
Okay.
Why Baga will know that we don't want to get it here. So thank you.
Hello.
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 Yeah, hello.
You are on the air, Chief.
Yeah, there's one local for Nikuta.
You are aware of August 4th gathering, Citizens Appreciation Day?
No, I just
Okay, it's on August 4th at Stain headquarters in Congo Town, Solidarity and Trust for New Day, 11 in the morning. The gathering to say thank you to everybody. Yeah? Okay.
Yesterday, I've been doing back in my way. He came up with myself, and you get out on it. Saying that because of Muslim men, yesterday was that. I think get on the street to prevent them to Christian and Muslim.
No.
When they put in there, or Christian was killed with his power to be forward. Why the police are another thing about it? People were killed up. Putting them defend the political, but just Christian or pushing the war to where I was to them not the way we got to do all the defending.
Okay. Okay, Chief. Thank you. Hello.
Hello?
You want to call off your radio?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Joseph Yuti. Calling from the Freeway Drive. Thank you for the honor discussion, Mr. Andrew. You know, we need to be very practical in our saying and our talking. Concerning the issue of the Imam, I think there are religion here. There are people that are supposed to speak, and when they speak, knowledge and wisdom should be gained from their talk. But I'm very sorry for his saying this thing. And now going to the bottom part of this topic and just on his surface to say whatever that he want to say because he has something on his sleeve that they want to do or he want to do to plunge the country into, chaotic and dilemma. We are not going that way. And just what you said, this thing is not of religion. It's not of tribal. It's not of culture. It's about something that went on or the state went in, as you continue to put it. The state went in. This police level did not go on his own. I think everyone should have established whether the man went on his own or he was sent by the state before, going the way he went.
All right.
I want to really say that he was very rapid to come up with decisions.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
He should have carried on his best and do his utmost well to investigate the matter before.
Thank you. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Andrews. Mr. Andrews, I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I'm Town Coastal Hill, Waiter Community. Mr. Andrews, you talk on 3 points, and please let me to make my input on the 3 points. Firstly, I want to commend Molubake Molu for taking on this initiative to appreciate those who took on their decisions to make this day a fruitful day. I want to commend him. And then the next issue have to do with Imam Cry. Mr. Andrew, some of us are Muslims, but the radical approach that Imam Cry has been taking all the time involves serious condemnation. We will not allow for Imam Cry to tell the way, to proceed the way in which he's proceeding. We are afraid this country will be dragged into religious wars. Religious politics is dangerous, and some of us are victims of it. We will not like for it to repeat itself. Use this microphone to condemn human crime. He must be a leader and make a statement that will reflect the image of the people. What happened was a legal issue. Let the legal authority the avenue to proceed on. But instead of using certain remarks, it's condemnable. The next thing has to do with a statement for CMC. Mr. Andrew, believe that CMC did not say anything wrong. CMC is trying to condemn those people who tried to politicize the march yesterday. Yesterday, you saw people bourgeoisie in the march. That's why CMC is calling them to their attention that no one should drag this political, or politicking. I believe the statement for CMC is in a rightful direction, and it must be given a nap on the back. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to make my voice on this issue. But let the country watch out for human crime. Human crime must be condemned. We don't want to go back to the old days. Thank you very much.
You going to the celebration tomorrow? Oh, Spencer, we're off. Hello? Hello? The women are okay. You off. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I always say, waiting about two calling from Jikotan Rehab. Always saying, blessing for you. Three of you, blessing for you. This talking that coming is that bro always put a blame on shit. And that's all be that. Then that bro talking. We'll be talking until we'll go to where we will go. Asking God for you. Let God bless you. What we are seeing, then I do say God bless you. For me, as about I have nothing to give you, but blessing for you. Because the way the country is going, you're not make out to understand the whole country will go different way. So let God bless you in Jesus' name.
Amen. All right. The women, you're not patient to stay on. When I'm okay, then you go off. When somebody call, once the person is on the air, then you dial your number. When you're hearing toot, it means that your number is waiting. So as once that person drops the line, yours go in. But when you dial one time, it ring for 1-2 seconds. You are impatient. You cut it off. Another person will go ahead of you. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrew.
Yes. Good afternoon.
I'm patient. Yeah, to the issue. Mr. Andrew, better come on. I know I low. The woman was wrong. She was wrong for what she did. But for President Government to come or apologize to the people, it's very shameful. And President Government speaking on the other side, if President Government say anything against our people, Mr. Andrew, you know that only position so owned by the poor people. Definitely they will close down the store and people will support them. President Government, I don't know, I don't know. And the woman will put there inside women or how I don't talk. But you know, when that people will put them close their store, say they're carrying for the room. But I don't know, you know what he's doing.
Okay.
You're more wrong.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Carmen Kevla calling from Matali.
Yeah, let's hear you, Gamen.
You know, Mr. Andrew, Lele was totally wrong. When they talk about violence, these people love too much violence.
No, that is the lady. Talk about the lady. Don't generalize it.
People
are different.
Yesterday, it was totally unfair. But the fact of the matter is that even the police should have even knowing how to handle the entire issue. We feel like twinkle of our eye, see among the people are off the street. They feel to remark, if you have done something wrong, will you won't punish everybody? Then the statement I give from her mouth, there will be no training says, where? How can you be in a glass for you want to rap? And you put guy you put them into your hands. You got a baby store. Then you letting somebody say, oh, there will be no training says, wow, if one person has done you wrong, why will you not handle the case? Now I said, Auntie is telling me that I should only talk to her one. Yesterday she was only talking to one person.
Yeah, because the that she is the center of it all. The other people weren't there, so you can't take other people, take her action and attribute it to other people.
Other working also to threaten other people because of her, right? So why shouldn't I say that she did something wrong, which the police will also went there and told matter into her hand. She was being handled the proper way. When they did this thing to the CDC and other, see what they did to the woman. But you see, the fact of the matter is that the police, if they have been the other people, the police have beaten that person, barricade that place, if they bring a house and truck and what have you. But the same my sister just said, they know what they own. They also inciting violence. It's inciting violence. He came on yesterday to come speak about the issue. Why against when it happens to the other side? It shouldn't be biased. They're there to protect everybody. I want to go so for someone to come on and say, oh yeah, in Guinea, we eat 3 times, like you're fire, older than Guinea. What is that? Why you can't go Guinea to go work? You right here, you working, and you won't come threaten somebody. Why won't you work?
All right, Gamen.
Thank you for affording me the time.
Good. Have a nice weekend. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Okay, and good afternoon to the peace loving people of Gregory County. This is something in the rabbi I do join you from my former bridge yesterday.
You from the former speaker district?
I from Wild Secretary District. I'm from Gregory County.
All right.
Okay, so the issue, Mr. Andrew, I think Gregory know the reason of which he apologized. Gregory, the statement that Gregory made the last time, this is the statement that people are relying on. Gregory told the people that if policemen, somebody temper with police people, the policemen will act and do what they think they will defend themselves. Now, the police people went to the Mandan house and then they decided to, and the Mandan went against the rule by being on power step. They still understand. But then they should have still used their number state and pursue the Mandan. But then because the Mandan, extend them, so they went and took what they do. Now, there's the issue. Our people, our brothers and sisters, Muslim brothers, they try to protest. If you want to protest, say, oh, and we will not have our 26 days. Which is this 26 days for everybody because this is the country birthday.
But you were carried away by that statement or those statements.
Yeah,
everybody entitled to their opinion to make a statement. It doesn't say that it's going to happen. When people vex, yes, they make statement just like people have done prior to yesterday event.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Andrew.
Everybody, when they agitated, they make statements. When they're angry, they make statements. But it doesn't say that it's going to happen.
Yes, who knows? The people they got and what happening yesterday. What happening is they got the people. They are many. They in numbers in our country. They in numbers, and then they control almost half our economy.
Thank you, Chief. Few. Then I talk what I want to talk, and then we out. It's the eve of the 26th. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sam. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, this is Apostle Samuel and Pata, and I call from Bannerville, Quebec.
Let's hear you, Pastor, Apostle.
Yeah, I call to categorically condemn the situation that occurred between the police officer and the Fulani. And this country is a country of law. I condemn it to the highest degree. There should be no violence in our country. The lady in question was wrong to have assaulted the police. The police also was wrong to have used a forceful means to arrest her. Even though power just is criminal on our law, but I don't think that the rule of engagement that he was trying to use, I don't think it applied to that. And lastly, I don't want us to try to be sentimental about these things. They have not gone to religious intolerance. One set of people will decide to say, oh, we'll protect our own culture in the country. So we're calling everyone to be very well resolute to see that the police carry on their own investigation. Last, if I go off the phone, the police RG wasn't wrong to curtail the emotions and what went on. Whatever he said, he did it in wisdom, because had he not done so, I think the situation got escalated. We know in 2004, we had the same thing that happened like between Christians and Muslims. So I think police urging his own man was trying to curtail this thing, use his own wisdom to apologize for the actions. But we are asking him to speedily investigate this thing so that it can come to a logical conclusion. That's my point this afternoon.
Thank you, Apostle Samuel Potter. Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Talk Jul. And good afternoon to the peace-loving people of Lofa country. Well, Talk Jul, this is Mohammed Dondo Fofana Jr. Okay, Talk Jul, I want for the audience to, should not attribute this to entire Muslim communities. I wanted to say the Fulani communities. Yeah.
Donzo, hold on. You raised a very salient point. But you see, the people now, they made it to be that way because that was a simple issue, suspicion of power theft. But then it took on a religious connotation. You see, they should not have done that. It was not right at all.
Yeah, it was wrong. It was wrong. More especially my biggest brother that joined those Fulani yesterday at the headquarters of the police. It was very, very wrong. I saw the video was wrong. This is not a tribal a religion thing. This is a tribal thing. This is Fulani has created attention. So I don't want for others people to say, oh, the Muslim. I'm a Muslim. So the Fulani, these people are wicked set of people. I don't want to miss my war. They are evil and they only love themselves. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Donzo. A great weekend. I wish all of you people in Liberia. The 26th celebration is on tomorrow. Mr. President has invited several guests. The stage is set. Reverend or Pastor Emmett Lafayette Dawn is the orator. A pastor was called in to deliver the oration, to speak to the occasion or the audience. He will have that responsibility, or he has that responsibility on tomorrow. Some presidents, we are told, and we saw a couple of that on the Executive Mansion website, who have been invited by President Bouakai for the occasion on tomorrow. Most of them from ECOWAS. I think Senegalese president is coming. 2 or 3 presidents, then I think 2 or 3 presidents coming for the occasion on tomorrow. We can just hope that it goes well, because Liberia's event, you hardly had an event that goes well. Yeah. So Donzo was right. I think a good reminder. You see why the police director have to be careful how he makes statement. And it is only in Liberia that I see these officials are so obsessed with radio, as much as it is important to give information out. But you want to organize your thought based on the prevailing situation, analyze the situation well with your deputies, and go with a prepared text. It is not wrong for anybody to go extempo, to speak orally, but given where you find yourself, the issues that are unfolding, you want to be careful. You see that with the white people. Please accept my racist bias. The white man goes in the studio a couple of times. The ambassador who was on one of our radio stations, the man will go with his paper. He's talking from the paper. You know why? Because they know that something could happen, and then they'll say, oh, you said this, they said this, that. And if the person didn't say, the person will go back to his script. Gregory Coleman goes and say, oh, people are attacking police officers all over the place. So police officers have the right to defend themselves. Some of the things that you see the police doing, they were sanctioned by the very police director. The very police director, like AB said last night, and that was true. Yes, that was true, because when you're doing these things, you know what he's saying? That the people too should not even respect the police. How can you be a police director? You investigate people on camera. You do Twitter investigation, or TikTok rather, TikTok investigation on camera. So you know what you're doing to your officer? Look at how he molested, he reduced those officers. He put them on camera. So some of these things, the way the guys behave, you can blame them too. Why it is true that they have to use their discretion, but they feel that they have the backing of their bosses because they did a lot of things here and nobody said anything about it. The authority had nothing to say. They left it. The police went on the other side, beat people, did all kinds of things. Let the Capitol building situation that the police never had the audacity to say, oh, yeah, our men went in and this, and did that. It is not the character of the police. But when a lady twerk or romanticize the ground, then he put her on Twitter and say, this character is not the character of the Liberia National Police. Contradictions in everything. Let's have this break here. Then we talk something and then. So let's have the second and final lap of the show and then we are out. But before, let's share this with you. The people say you can travel from any part of the country in less than 30 minutes, 1 hour, less than an hour. So, Liberian journalist Yanti Tokwa is reporting. He is on a side that over 20 cars are struck or stuck on the famous Lever Hill. That includes trucks, cam motor, taxis, buses, Nissan patrols, and motorbikes. The road, in his words, as he is reporting, is bad off, it's slippery, makes it difficult for cars to move through. So but they will portray it like they say Boaga paved most of the road. You hear some of the politicians shamelessly saying you can move this, you can go. They feel they made on TJ. You expect that Major TJ will say that because you're in the government. You're in the government, you're forced to praise the government. You're forced to say things that even if it is not right, you ought to. Otherwise, then that you will lose your job. So he say where he came from, he said less than 30 minutes. That same place, people reporting from there that it's difficult. He ain't gonna know what he just said and just pass. Oh yeah, government life not easy. We lost it. That easy. You praise the government, forget it, you finish. Okay. So this is how we go home on the show. This is how we go home. Time is of the essence. This is how we go home. Please listen carefully. Let's share this with you. It is one of the problems. If it is not is serious, but I think it is having a real toll on most people. At the business center, at the office, interpersonal relationship, in car, football field, cinema, organizations, susu club, religious, everywhere. Where human interaction is, where interpersonal relationship or interpersonal action is, you all will find this. And this is on to everybody. It is on to everybody. That means it is within everybody. It is both supernatural and natural. I am talking about anger. This identical aspect of our existence, of human existence, it saturates the atmosphere. It is everywhere. Anger. Let's talk what it is first. What anger is. It is simply an emotion that is characterized by tension and hostility, arising from frustration, real or imagined injury by another, or perceived injustice or direct attack. 2. Anger is an intense emotional state that involves or has to do with strong, uncomfortable, or non-cooperative response to what is perceived as provocation, hurt, or threat. 3. Anger is a strong feeling of annoyance, irritation, hostility, or even antagonism. That's what anger is. It is a phenomenon, natural, supernatural, in every human being. The positive side of anger. Many would think that anger does not have any positive attached to it. And most people understand anger to just be bad. No. Anger is within everybody. Even it is God's character. And I'm explaining it in a way that you will understand it good, so that you are careful. You don't let loose. Anger can be controlled. If not, all of us, one way or the other, have experience of anger. That means the outcome. Here's the positive side of anger. Here is it. 1, anger can provide the energy or the zeal that is required to overcome obstacles and puts you in the position to pursue your goal. Because when you vex, it depends on the situation. It is either you will stop doing what you are doing or what you ought to do, or you will not allow what is happening to stop you from doing what you are doing. So once you can understand your anger, then the situation that faces you, you know how to handle it. Anger can be a powerful motivator to take action and make changes, whether in interpersonal relationship, whatever the situation. Anger has a positive side. That means also that anger can be used for the right purpose. Everyone has that within them, and everyone ought to get vexed. Everyone ought to show anger, but the anger should be one that will bring about change and not destruction. You can get vexed or show anger for a change, but you cannot get vexed and show anger for destruction. The anger God placed in all of us is for positive change, individually and collectively, institutional. What it also does, the positive side, anger can sharpen focus and increase determination, making it easier to achieve one's goal. especially when that person is faced with a challenge. Anger is not utterly wrong, but the application, how it is used, everyone can get vexed, but the vexation should lead to reform, should lead to change. When it is leading to destruction, self-destruction, and destruction of another person or property, then that is not anger. That is not anger. Then that's temper tantrum. So when you acknowledge and express anger, the person or people can feel more control. They will know how to handle situation. It's as simple. Anger also can trigger fight or flight. Fight or flight. Fight means you gauge physical contact. Flight is to move. You have seen some people, when anger set in, what do you see of the person? Will walk off the scene. Those who move by emotion or anger overtakes them, what do you hear them say? It can't happen to me. That man, he know why he moving from there. He know why he walking off. That lady, yeah, she Christian code. That's why she moving. When you see that, when you see the person walk off or the person not talking, the person is simply telling the rest of the people he or she has control of himself. And the anger can be controlled, can be tamed. That way is positive. Why it is positive? It's not going to lead the person into anything he or she will regret. So the person will take a flight. You see that in different situations. Some the lady is showing that anger, blasting in the home, raining insults on either the boyfriend or the husband, and then you see quietly the man will move and go on the other side, either to sit with his friends or he goes to an entertainment center where he can have some kind of concentration on what is happening, or would not even want to think about it until when the woman has done her venting, shouting and screaming, then he comes back. When you see people like that, don't consider them as being weak. It only means they have an understanding of what anger is, and they have it under control. And that is a positive aspect of any person. It is a good response to the person's personality. The negative side of anger. Yes, the negative side of anger. It can lead to arguments, conflict, sour relationships with either a family member, a friend, office, mate, anything. Anger is uncontrolled. And the uncontrolled is dependent on the situation. Take this example. Something happened, and the issue is not as strong, neither does it pose a threat to that person's life or the next person. But because the person stirs himself or herself up, you see the person screaming and shouting, moving from one end to another. And people talking, say, oh, my man, lead a thing. Say, oh, I can't leave it. I got to pay my debt. Just like the Peking. You saw the Peking on social media, and he admitted his colleagues did something to him, and he felt that he needed to pay his debt, as you say in Liberian term. So his colleagues were preventing him, but because he stored that anger in his vessel, and he allowed the anger to overcome him, it is the same as vexation. What did he say? He himself explained, and he took responsibility for what happened to him. He did not shift it on any of his friends. He said that he told him that he would pay his debt at all costs. That means he will retaliate. So the person who angered him, he wanted to retaliate on that person. His colleagues kept on preventing them, building a wall between them. So this time now, he felt that he could use a bypass. And while moving on the other side to get to the person who inflicted the pain on him, he slipped and came down and broke his spinal cord. Kwame Weeks, if you went on Kwame Weeks' page, you will see that he has that there. That's what anger does. It leads you into something that you regret. Another thing, another aspect of negative anger, people may distance themselves from you when they know that you are that kind of person or you have that character, and it leads to loneliness and social isolation. When you hear some people say, oh, no, me, I want to be bothered by that man, with that male, I let that man friendship. It is not that they naturally hate people, but they have seen certain character, and that character is negative anger. So the person don't want to get along with that person so that he or she don't pick up that person's habit. Because if you associate with somebody who is anger driven, there's every likelihood that you will develop that same attitude. You show anger. Difficulty managing anger can lead to what they call impulsive actions and decisions, and those can have serious consequences on you. Serious. Sometimes it leads to avoidance, isolation, people, and it affects you in even recommendations. People might not. They say, oh, that man, he get that kind of attitude, or that lady get that kind of attitude, he can't could get vessel with all kinds of things. That's why they call you see the book and say, could get vessel. Yeah. That anger they're referring. Many little things can stir you up. So you want to avoid that. It can be control. Anger is controllable. You can control anger. Anger is an emotion. Emotion is different from reason. Emotion is not above reason. Reason is above emotion. Reason suppresses emotion. That is why when you see certain things happening or has happened to you, you sit down and start to think, this person said this to me. Must I do this? Should I retaliate? If I retaliate, what will it cost me? What if I want to retaliate, or to say in Liberian term, pay my debt, and then something happened to that person? What will become of me? Or that I am the one who is the victim. What will I say? Yeah, the person reason out. At the close of the day, person say, no need, let me leave it. That man I say all kinds of things to me. That woman I say all kinds, man, I lead it. When you see people saying those things, they are telling you that they have control of the anger. When you allow anger to control you, you either find yourself on hospital bed, emergency ward, jail, injury that you might live with for the rest of your life until you go under the ground, or find yourself in jail. Some of the people in South Beach, their anger, Some of the people laying down in JFK, ELWA, Redemption, and those other mini clinics, some of the patients from anger, they went to retaliate and met something else. Anger is a positive emotion when it is understood and can be used from a reasoning standpoint. The woman is shouting and screaming in the house at the husband because she wants the husband to do certain things, but then the husband is thinking, having an understanding, but because the husband is not responding, so she starts venting out her anger, and she goes to attach cutting. Cutting is, well, we can say you're using Ogna Baba expression, you're cursing the person. That's what they call cutting. You're shouting, using some word, and the man is not saying anything. But not that the man is not listening to her, but he is having control. He doesn't want to lose because he's been tempted. He's been pushed against the wall, but he's restraining himself. And he will not say anything to that woman, no matter how long she talks. What do you see there from the man is what they call positive emotion, having complete control of his anger by reasoning and suppressing it. Anger is a positive emotion, but we turn it into we misuse it. Just like a shouting match. Now, why did I bring this? From what happened yesterday. What you saw yesterday that led to the uproar, or our brothers and sisters coming out to, in their words, demand justice because the lady showed anger. That was a temper tantrum. That's what she demonstrated. That was a major temper tantrum. She went out of herself. She lost control of her personality. Emotion had overtaken her. And you saw the reaction, you saw the outcome. That's what anger does. Anger leads to destruction when it is not properly thought out or restrained. Anger can be a positive emotion when we understand what it leads to and we don't give in to what is tempting us to give in. It becomes a positive emotion by restraining ourselves. Had that woman just restrained herself, we would not be talking what we're talking. But anger flared up, and it went to the degree of temper tantrum. She lost control of her temper. She became so temperamental. As you see in the video, the way she smashed the bench on the officer. And that's what led the officer to give a counter anger. So the officer said, but then I should reply. So the officer returned anger for anger. Emotion stirs up the atmosphere. And all of the people, the rest of the people who were around, guess what? Look at the scene carefully. All of them was in it. Anger had overtaken everybody that made up that scene. Anger took over everybody. What the lady and the police people demonstrated was anger, but that kind of anger is what in psychology they call temper tantrum. That one, it's so dangerous, it can lead to injuries, it can lead to different things hospital on hospital bed, in jail. You have scar on your body. Everybody asking you, my man, what kind of thing on your body? So, or my dear lady, what kind of thing? Or you just can't make it. It's dangerous. And I will share with you a couple of individuals who demonstrated a high degree of temper tantrum. Today, people are still demonstrating that. Yesterday, people demonstrated. Look, listen, when you're restraining yourself and people telling you, oh, my man, oh, you weak, you again a Christian code, they're attempting you to get in it. Maintain your self-restraint, move from on the scene. That's what psychology said. The psychologist said, if you are tempted whatsoever, the best therapy is to walk off. Don't engage the atmosphere. Leave. Anger is supernatural and natural, was put in us by God. But God put it in us to be used in a positive way, to be used for a change, for unity, for love, for every other thing positive. And that is why the God himself presented anger as a command. As a command. And the Bible is filled with anger, vexation, temper tantrum. And everywhere, what did you see God say? This is how you demonstrate your anger. And your anger should not lead you to this. In one of the lines, what did he say? He said, do not allow the sun to go down on your anger. That is a confirmation that I've imputed anger into you. You have to control your anger. And you don't control the anger by doing this, doing that. You control your anger by not doing this and not doing that. Is that not what it is? Several areas God told us. I'm saying this to appeal to you, just to educate you so that, or caution you, so that you be careful not to go that route. Because we are different naturally. We are different. The situation may not be the same. Too many people are living today with different marks on them. They are in jail, some on hospital bed, some gone under the ground because they demonstrated anger and they allowed the anger to move to another level called temper tantrum. They could not control their temper, meaning nothing called reasoning was in that mental. You hear people say bragging, boasting of it, nursing their anger, reversing their anger, rehearsing rather. Oh, I could get there. Oh. Me, don't play with me. Oh. Me, my vexation bar. I could get there when I get there. Nobody can stop me. You hear people say that. And they think that they're saying something normal in a normal way. Anger is supernatural and natural. God himself. But he put it in there, in us, that we use it for the right thing, the right purpose. Now, listen, let me share a few lines with you, then we go. Then we'll look at, a few lines. He said, whoever is slow to anger has great understanding. That God. Did he say nobody should get angry? Nobody should get vexed? No. But it is within us. So he said a person who is slow to anger, that means the person has slow to anger yet means reason out. He said that person has good understanding. In essence, that person is saved from a number of letdown. Yeah. Then what did he say again? What did he say? He said, be angry and do not sin. The expression be angry, it is a command. So if anger is all that bad, then why would God say we should be angry? Simply put, the man said, I put it in you. Let it not be used for destruction. When it is used the other way around, then you will destroy yourself. You will destroy interpersonal relationship. You will create societal avoidance. You will get engaged into situation that might lead you into hospital or in jail. But if it is used with restraint and reasoning, then what did he say? He said, you have great understanding. Anger is not forbidding. If anger was forbidding, God was never going to put it in us. Why did God use anger on himself? Because he used it for reform, for change, for refinement, for the advancement of humanity. The Bible is clear. We are Christians. That is our model of leadership and societal guidance. The lady, we can understand, she got emotional from vexation, and then that led her to do. The police people too, anger overtook them, and they reacted without having the caution. The caution is the reasoning. In there, the police officer is smashed. This is where now some of the right, what you hear the people saying, they say, even though the woman action, we acknowledge the woman action, but the police was heavy-handed. What they're saying in there by the right, in that little era, that the police officers should have reason and not allow anger to set in, because anger can lead to quick reaction. So because the officers did not reason, anger set in and they retaliated with the anger shown by the woman. So that two wrongs, they're two anger. But that's a simple thing. They will settle it. We have had major situations like that. I just thought to close the show with this caution. In your house, in the church, at your business center, everywhere, you can get angry, but don't allow it to go to another level. Right here at our office, the radio station, we disagree on some things. We show emotions, anger, but listen, it's always in a positive direction. So in a twinkle of an eye, it's off and everybody moving with their relationship. I mean, we're moving with our interpersonal relationships, so called your kind, laughing and all of that. Because you know why? Everybody understands that you have to allow reason to prevail and not emotion. That's why God said, he who is slow to anger has great understanding. Don't show destructive anger. Don't allow anger to control you. You control the anger and use it in a positive direction. That's what anger is all about. Anger is not for destruction. Anger is for enhancement, advancement, unity, all of those things. So we can get angry. We can say that, oh, look, these people on the other side, they are doing X, Y, Z. So we can develop an idea that we double them 3 times, the anger right there. But that kind of anger is a positive anger. It's not destructive. It's a positive anger. If somebody is doing something and the person is ahead and I know that I want to get there too, I develop anger. And what I'm going to do to start learning what the person did to get there, that's anger. That's positive anger. And what it does is it helps the institution. It takes the institution to another level. We use our anger to advance our house, advance the office, advance interpersonal relationship, everything in a positive direction. That's why God said, that's why he said, be angry. If anger was bad, why would God give it as a command? But it is presented this way. Let it be used for the enhancement of society. Let it be used for the enhancement of interpersonal relationship. Let it be used for the enhancement of the institution. Let your anger be towards positive things and not destruction, because it will affect you. So you don't allow anger to control you. I beg you. Things happening to you, you just walk off. Yeah. Everyone, that is an emotion in everybody. Let me share this with you. Let me tell you one of the things I do. All of us in us, we can have some way, somehow get vexed. And everybody, sometimes you see the boss comes in the office and something happening, the boss is blasting here and there, and people misunderstand that as, oh, the boss is vexed. But that kind of vexation is positive. You know why? Because it is institutional. When you are in the office and your boss is raising concern, or say, let's say the librarian were blasting, don't get vexed. It is not directed at you. But the only reason why the boss is facing you, because you have that responsibility, but it is institutional, meaning the boss sees it as the good of the institution, and it is not you, because he or she will do nothing personal. It ain't concern your house, it ain't concern your anything personal. Because we see some people in the office, well, man, I let it wait the boss and talk to me. Yeah. No. That kind of anger is irresponsible anger. It doesn't help. Once you got to look at you got to look at the point from which the boss is speaking. So, oh, but the thing is about the institution. The person is talking about the institution. The person is not talking about my house. No. The person is not talking about my house. So why would I get vexed? I only need to listen and get the logic the person is sending across, and not to put anything called emotion or anger, because it will make no sense. If I try to show anything funny, it will affect me. And that's how people can lose their job. They lost their status or their position on the job. So now people now who don't like the whole operation or wants to, what they call, they'll be encouraging, oh, that you do that thing. That man can't, not because he bought, he can't talk to you that way, that you can take that thing, I can't take it from him. That's how some people, they got affected off the job. Then they start going around telling people, say, oh, people did, people that. Don't allow that. You can restrain it. You can restrain it. People who, even in biblical days, in Bible days, people show anger. And what happened? God allowed them to feel the effect of their anger because they refused to reason. King and Abel, Moses, Simeon, Levi, Ahab, all of those people, and we can go on and on. God said, but then, your business, you will feel the pain. Since you can use your anger in a positive direction, now you face what you people have before you. And in life, when you can reason, when you allow anger to control you, what happened? You face the outcome of it. You feel the effect. You want to control your emotion. I beg you. God said, be slow to speak, slow to anger. Did you get out of what? He said, be slow to speak, quick to hear. I know sometimes the situation can weigh on us, but listen, you just want to be careful so that it doesn't degenerate into something else that might affect you. That might affect you. You just want to. That's why when something happens, I beg you, whether in your house, at your office, at the business center, in your community, whatever, you just leave it. I say you can talk, you can talk. You can express yourself, but let it not reach to the point wherein it will cause sour relationship. It will lead to fighting. It will lead to something that you yourself will not like. Then you start regretting it. You see, we can understand that whole thing. That woman was already vexed. We know what something happened before the tax force people went there. So I know I can say it was transfer aggression, but what we saw was anger. The police guys too, they retaliated with seeing anger. So you see where we are now. You see what anger can do. Yeah. Okay. So I beg you, yeah. Anybody doing anything to you, you're just leaving. You're even talk. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, is it? Then we go, we off. Sometimes we can go in a video club to watch game, to watch football game like the way the season coming start now. So, because I know that I like to argue about the game, to talk about it, and it's more refreshing. You enjoy it more than you can enjoy it watching the game at your house. So most time we like to sit in the midst of friends, other people of diverse background watching the game. But when we go in the video club is uncontrollable. It reminds me of P. Gaswa Jackson, the GSC boss. We were in a gathering, and he was talking from one end to another. He is an Arsenal fan, so he said that he goes in a video club to watch it. Everybody just say, "Oh, but they kind of beat me here with all the money, get everything to man, go in video club to go watch football game." What he was simply saying that it not only does it nourish, but you learn a lot. But it is also tempting because the people that are, most of the people are unrefined. It's not a place where you expect people to conduct themselves as you are. So what I would do when I go in the video club, I know that the guys will say something, then they'll do it. So I go with my earpiece. Yeah, I'm not listening to the commentary. I only want to see image. So I put my religious music on, and then it's playing loud, and I watching the image. So I'm not getting sound from outside. So if I'm sitting, somebody says something, I'm not going to hear. When a game is over quietly, I walk off. Even in the community, simple as that. That's how you do. You just avoid setting it because listen, life is long. God did not put people on earth to get injuries all over the body, laying down in hospital, all kind of things. No, God created everybody that you'll be healthy, you'll be so good in your life. But anger, if it is not properly controlled, it can lead to something different. And that's what we saw with those people over there, the police officers and the lady. But I just hope that they can settle it well. And the same anger brought the people out. You see why? What is it? Anger. The anger brought those Liberians out, though. The anger brought those Liberians out. They were demanding justice. The anger read it because they were vexed. The anger got into them. They allowed it to overtake them. So they came outside. What you saw was the demonstration from the mentor, the action rather. They say, we want justice. We want justice. That the anger they were expressing. So it came from another anger. So I beg you, I hold you for anything, just leave it. In me, you listen. In me, you're not aware. In me, you can do something, but you just don't want to use your anger in a negative way. You prefer to keep your anger and use it in a positive way that will improve your life. Yeah? All right. That weekend, I also see y'all the celebration on Monday. Celebration on Monday, Mr. President and his people. Thank you all for being with us from Monday till today. CDC hour is on at 6:50 right after the news, which comes on in just under 30 minutes. And then CDC hour is on at 6:50. And then after that, face the issues with Teacher Light, Anthony at Law, A.B. Wayan. You don't want to miss it. I'm Sam Andrews. if God permits. Shalom.